I stopped by the, after getting groceries, like, I stopped by the Safeway liquor store as well and just picked up some, honestly was hoping to find a couple of, specific German beers that never seem to be in stock at liquor stores. They had a couple, so I was happy and got that. And I asked if the liquor store, because it's the Safeway liquor store, also did, like, the 15% off, like, for a Customer Appreciation Day. And, they said yes, but apparently this year they're going to change how that works and only give scene points. Like,
no 15%.
It seems like that's going to be a change in the near future where the only option will be scene points and not a discount.
Well, that's stupid. The grocery store is expensive anyway.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go? Depths. Why did you just say a quick little boss rush? Talk about things going on. We beat Pokemon last night. How much of that can we talk about it without being spoilery? It was nice.
Yeah, we beat the main game. We started some of the post game. I will say I looked up a thing. Oh god, I'm hearing the game. I thought it was you saying something. Thanks. I'm turning the game way down though. What did you see? Okay. Like there was an article like saying, 10 things to do in the post game. And some of them are the obvious stuff, and I've mentioned
8 of them with the gyms.
No. That was just number 10. But so it's like, but it's just like, some of it is just like, it's just like shiny hunt, complete the Pokedex. It's just like, okay. Like in addition to the actual regular expected post game content. Number 2 on the list. Consider getting into competitive. Like, against other players. And it's just like, okay. And then, number 1, try a Nuzlocke on a different save file.
The game doesn't have multiple save files.
Yeah.
Pokemon has never had multiple save files. 1 per copy of the game. And in the case of the Switch, the save file is saved to the Switch itself, so even if you do get, Violet and Scarlet, say you have 1 save file on each, if you want to start up another save file without deleting either of those, you have to buy another Switch.
Wait, I thought you said that you had 2 save files for each one.
Because I have 2 Switches.
That would do it.
Bad.
And it's based on the Switch and not based on your profile?
Oh, right. I think it actually is based on profile. That's a fair point. I'm stupid because I basically only ever use 1 profile per Switch anyway. Okay. Yeah, you can. However, then those new files, I don't think you can connect them to the same Pokemon home.
Probably not.
But if you just want to do a fun little Nuzlocke and don't care about, transferring over any Pokemon you find, you could trade them to, someone else who trades them back to your, main thing. So yeah, you can make extra profiles, that's true. But it's funny that both of my Switches connect to the same Pokemon home. So that's, really, really useful.
Nice. But, yeah, it's just funny that that's what they say. Here, that's what you can do in the post-game. Play the game again.
The number 1 best thing... I mean, to be fair, I do plan on doing a whole lot of Pokemon challenge runs. Eventually, I figure we'll have enough content if we do not necessarily everything possible in the post-game, but at least some post-game stuff. Probably a good 2 months or so, and that should be enough time for me to start up challenge runs.
Electric Terrasteel Shedinja with
I wish. I so wish I could, just for the laughs. I wish I could just... They should just allow that to happen and just ban in, competitive use. Excuse me, no. I mean, to be fair, if Electric Terrasteel Air Balloon Shedinja did become a popular thing, people would just have Pokemon that have, dust, Sandstorm. Whatever that Sandstorm ability is.
Will-O-the-Wisp.
hail. If hail actually is a thing in...
No, hail is replaced with snow.
Okay, so not that then. Wait, is sandstorm now the only damaging environment?
I believe so.
But yeah, spikes. If you get out spikes before they get out Shedinja.
Spikes wouldn't work.
It's like you need the stealth rock or floating stones, one of the two.
Okay, I don't know about floating stones because I've never heard of that one.
That might just be stealth rock.
Yeah.
It might just be that, yeah. But yeah, you'd have to use like weather or status things to deal with it, or struggle strats. Struggle can hurt Shedinja.
Oh gosh, that just reminds me of that that other Pokemon YouTuber who does Pokemon Challenge.
I heard Simon scratching something.
Okay. The one where he tried doing a Ditto run.
Oh yeah, struggle strat.
Well, here's the problem. First, at some point, about halfway through the game, struggle strats stopped working.
Oh yeah, that's the Gen 1 thing. Yeah, where he learned like 3 or 4 new things about Ditto in one playthrough.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It was working up until that point, and just at some point, randomly, the game decided, oh yeah, no, you just have no power points for the move you have, but that's it.
But you still have to move. Yeah, was it something weird about like Mirror Move deducting power points from the base move, like under the transform or something?
I don't think he ever figured out exactly why. At least not in that video that I saw.
It was like, yeah, the move is at 0, but it's going to like, round over, so actually put it at like 63 power points. And so it's reading that's like, yeah, there's power points there, alright. So you can't struggle because you have power points, but you can't use the power points. Because you have like 63 power points of like Mirror Move or something.
Okay, I'm guessing you saw a different video then, because the one I saw didn't actually come up with an explanation for why it happened. Other than Gen 1 is buggy AF.
I don't think the one I read had like proper, like, this is exactly what happens. From what I recall, that's what the person guessed what happened. So, but yeah, then it's like, yeah, Gen 1. Gen 1 is weird, yo.
The 1 in 256 glitch, the badge boost glitch.
Yeah. Oh, you can skip Brock glitch.
The what?
You can just skip Brock.
Yeah, the skip Brock / walk through walls.
You don't actually need anything specific to skip Brock, but you do need a bunch of specific things to walk through walls.
Anyways,
Oh, you can permanently soft lock yourself in that area with the seismic toss TM because trees reload when you save and quit the game.
Trees below?
Trees reload.
Okay.
Well, also, that one specifically because trainers reload. Yeah, that path right above Misty going to Bill.
Oh, you're talking about... Oh.
Yeah, that spot.
I know.
Just before Bill.
I didn't remember Seismic Toss being there, but I do know... Or maybe it's a different spot that I'm thinking of. But I do know a spot where that would be an issue, yes.
I'm thinking of specifically the spot where there's 2 trainers, one at the bottom, one at the top, and if you fight both of them, you can lead the top trainer down at least 2 spaces, walk behind them, get the item ball. And you're supposed to either get it that way by fighting the trainer like that, or later in the game you can come back with cut down the tree, go and get it.
Yeah, you're talking about the road above Cerulean City, right?
Yeah, above where Misty's stem is, yeah. above
Yeah,
that.
Buck's
Yeah, that thing.
City, just to the left of Bill's house. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's Seismic Toss that's there. That would be way too early in the game to get that move.
I mean, Seismic Toss only deals damage equal to your level.
Even so, that'd be way too early in the game to get that move.
I'm sure it's Seismic Toss, because I know that I've seen people do, like, single Pokemon challenge runs, and they're like, yeah, we have to fight both these trainers this time, because I want the Seismic Toss TM.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up.
Go look up Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss TM.
Yeah, Pokemon.
It's just that these controls are really bad at hitting one. Da.
Holy shit, it is.
Ha!
Why would they put it that early in the game?
You doubted me!
Yes, I did. Why would they do that?
To encourage players to go and, like, explore somewhat. That's the game developer saying, hey, we know that you can just fight, you know, one of these trainers and go forward, but if you fight both of them and do it in a specific way, here's an extra TM as a treat. Or you can come back later.
I guess. And then, of course, the fact that the trainers reset, you know, means you can easily soft lock that early in the game. Wow.
You can soft lock way earlier in the game. You can soft lock before ever seeing a Pokemon battle.
What?
Before even getting a Pokemon, you can soft lock.
How?
You know how at the very beginning of the game you walk into the patch of grass and then Oak comes up, it's like, hey, don't go out there, there's Pokemon out there, come to my lab instead. And you know how there's random people who...
No, yes, you take a step up into that area, press pause, save, restart, and then just keep doing that until you're out of the town?
Nope. What you do is, there's a wandering person there. There are wandering people in town. You nudge one of them so she walks into the grass. You walk into the grass next to her. Oak comes up, can't stand in the space he's supposed to stand in, tries to lead you back to the lab, but since you're displaced by one spot over, you instead walk into the wall next to the door, and you can't get out. You just flat out can't move anymore.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so there's that. Like, there's so many ways to soft lock. Anything to do with missing no. Oh yeah, the whole thing with the controlling what Pokemon you like being able to get yourself a Mew, for example.
Oh yeah. But, like, here's the thing. You can't crash Gen 1. Like, you can, but you can't crash Gen 1. You can soft lock yourself. You can get Pokemon you're not supposed to get. You can, you know, walk through walls and go to the Elite Four within 1 minute of starting the game. It doesn't crash. It really has that much going for it.
I mean, here's the thing. I think I would prefer a game that is set to crash rather than soft lock.
I mean, the soft locks in Gen 1 happen because of oversights. There's the oversight with, hey, we didn't realize that, you know, this random NPC could walk into the grass here. And there's the oversight of, oh, hey, you can get into a place that you can only get out if you have a certain HM, but you can get there without the HM. Like, the grass thing will only ever happen to someone if they really try for it. Like, you have to really push that person into the grass to make that work. And even then, it's at the very beginning of the game. Easy to be said.
With only power points left in Rage, fighting against Lorelei.
Yes, that is a definitive oversight that they fixed for Pokemon Yellow. It's only a true soft lock if you save the game in the Lorelei arena. Because another oversight says, hey, you can't just leave. And even then, that still isn't necessarily a soft lock if you have one of the fishing rods. Which, due to an oversight, you can put all those in the PC, because key items didn't exist in Gen 1. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to reload. Hi.
Oh, and here's a very weird oversight that technically is cheating, but it's still, like, without use of a cheating device. Using Pokemon Stadium. This isn't a soft lock
you can. You can transfer water.
Yeah, you can transfer items, so you can just give yourself a water early, and thus, as soon as you leave Cerulean, you now have access to basically everything except for Seafoam Islands and Cinnabar Island.
I don't think so. You still can't get down to that whatever bottom town with Koga, right? Because you need Pokeflute first, but
right, you don't immediately get complete access to that either.
Oh, nice.
But now you're able to skip everything.
Yes.
It gets to a point where the only gym, well, technically the only gyms you can't access at that point are
Gym 7, Gym 8?
Yeah, and Gym 8 only because it's because that doesn't happen until you get all of the badges.
I wonder if there is a way to do Gym 8 before getting all of the other badges. If there's, like, a glitch to, like, walk into the gym. Like, I'm sure if you do block through walls, you could just walk into the door.
Yeah, well, I know there's walk through walls. Because all you have to do is just
hit that door tile, right?
Onto the door tile. You just can't step onto the tile in front of the door.
So it would be.
That forces the guy next to that spot to basically literally shove you off the ledge.
Yeah, the gym's like on the edge of like a little cliff, and the guy's like, "You can't go in there. It's locked." Shove. Oh, have you seen the glitch with the guy standing on the roof?
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you go to, what's the island town?
Cinnabar Island?
Yeah, if you go to Cinnabar Island, you can go to, walk out of the Poke Center, walk to the right, start surfing like you're doing the Missing Note glitch, but then just surf up, in line with where you would walk in front of the door, get back onto the island, walk up to the door. I think it only works if you don't have the key to get in there. The little thingy pops up saying, "Hey, you can't get in here." And if you look right then and there, there's someone on the roof.
And I'm pretty sure it's actually Blaine's sprite.
If it could be.
I'm pretty sure it's Blaine's sprite.
So you can't go in here. I'm loving the implication that Blaine himself is like, "Hey, you haven't explored that old mansion enough. I know you haven't. Get out of here." That Blaine's the one yelling at you, too.
If you think about, like, some of the gyms just have some really weird conditions for getting into the gym in the first place. Like, Gym 8, it kind of, like story-wise, it definitely makes sense. Because it's just,
you have to make sure it's
straight up.
Down.
It's, like, you
because he's not in the gym.
Yes.
So the building
he's
is
not
blocked
supposed to be.
Huh?
Yeah, he's not supposed to be in the gym. At that point.
But with Cinnabar Island, it's just like, hey, you're not allowed to get into the gym unless you have the key.
Yeah, you need the key. You need to go and explore the mansion. Gosh, yeah. Okay,
Whereas like a couple other gyms, like Erica, like the electric gym and the grass gym, you just have to be able to cut outside of battle.
Yeah, okay, alright. Gen 1 gyms, what are the requirements and stuff to do to get to the gym and to get to the leader? Brock's gym, you have to just walk inside. There's a guy who leads you right to the door. And there's one optional trainer leading up to Brock. And that's it. Misty gym. You just have to walk inside, and there's...
I thought there was 2 optional trainers.
Pardon?
I thought Brock's gym had 2 optional trainers.
Nope. There's just the light years guy.
I could have sworn that there were 2. Maybe I'm thinking a different gen. Anyways.
Probably. Misty's gym, you just walk inside. There's one mandatory trainer and one optional trainer. But if you have Surf, you can skip the mandatory trainer. You shouldn't have Surf by that point. But if you have it and can use it, you can skip the mandatory trainer. Third gym, Surge's gym. To get to the gym, you need to be able to use either Cut or Surf. And then there's the trash can puzzle. Three optional trainers.
And let's see here. Then there's Erica's gym.
Use Cut to get in.
Not just to get in, but also to get into the inner sanctum within the gym.
Yeah, you need Cut to get in, and you need Cut to reach her, and there's at least one mandatory trainer, but it's variable. Because there's like, what, 7 other trainers in there other than Erica?
Yeah.
And only one and you can get it to her with only one.
Yeah. Next is Koga, supposedly.
Is next Koga or Sabrina?
Well, that's the thing. It's never clear which one is actually supposed to be next in line, because you can definitely do them in either.
You can go into the pause menu and show you the order, so let's do Koga. To get to Koga's gym, you just walk in, right?
Yep, and it's just the invisible wall maze.
Yeah, with a couple of mandatory trainers and some optional trainers.
I think all but one of the trainers are mandatory.
I thought there were only 2 mandatory trainers in there.
Maybe I just always fought them. I only know of one optional one for certain, because he's technically not in the maze, like in the path that actually leads to Koga. So
yeah, a couple of mandatory trainers and some optional ones. But the only real challenge is, hey, you have to basically walk around the gym. And that's about it. And then Sabrina. You can only get
in once you've cleared out Silphco.
Do you have to clear out Silphco or something else? Because I remember that there's also the fighting dojo right next door. And the requirements for getting into both the gyms are different. One of them you have to clear Silphco and one you don't. I don't remember which is which.
Yeah, the fighting gym, the fighting gym, because it's not actually a gym, it's just the dojo.
Fighting dojo?
Yeah, the fighting dojo, you can just go in and do it, because nobody cares. But yeah,
so you have to beat Silphco.
You have to clear out Silphco. Which means fighting, what do they call it, Rival Fival?
Yes.
Which is generally considered...
And Giovanni.
Well, here's the thing, like, after that rival fight, Giovanni is a cakewalk. Like, that rival fight, I think, is, assuming you're playing casually, the most difficult fight in the game. For the point where you're supposed to be at progress-wise. If you can beat the rival, Giovanni's a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Cinnabar, you have to have...
Okay, wait, hold on. Are we missing somebody?
No.
Brock, Misty, 1, 2, 3,
Brock, Misty, Surge,
4,
Eric.
5, 6. Yeah, no, yeah, Cinnabar. You have to go through the mansion to the bottom, get the key, go in, and then either answer trivia questions or fight trainers.
And you need Surf to get there in the first place.
Yes.
Also,
but Surf is part of... Yeah.
If I recall correctly, there's at least one trainer who is completely optional because there isn't even a trivia question associated with their area.
Really? Wait, what?
There's at least one... I'm certain that there's at least one where there isn't even a trivia thing. You can just walk through their area.
Might be.
And then Giovanni... Well, here's the thing. Well, it is implicit that you have to have, beaten Selfco already, because you supposedly needed that to get into Sabrina's gym.
Yes.
But, technically speaking, as I understand it, the only thing that actually you need is the other 7 badges. So if you use, walk through walls and other cheats to get into, Sabrina's gym, and never did any of the stuff,
For first ball adventure to just get her badge, yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can still just go in and fight Giovanni.
Yeah. I know it's also possible to skip a couple of the rival battles and get back later. Like, if you skip Brock, then was it Rival 1B? The one on the way to the league, where he has, a Pidgey?
Mm-hmm.
That one can be... Yeah, that one can definitely be skipped. But if you skip Brock, you can come back to him.
Yeah.
And if you manage to skip Brock and still fight Giovanni in Gym 8, and, get the badge get the badge there.
Fight Brock, because if you have walk through walls.
I'm just remembering watching someone do a thing where they skipped Brock, and then they fought Giovanni, and then they went down that path. They fought against both of those rival battles, one after the other.
So maybe it's beating Giovanni that triggers the new one to show up, and it's beating Brock that triggers the first one to disappear.
Yeah, beating Brock is definitely what triggers the first one to disappear.
But the funny thing is if you have walk through walls, you can in theory just skip over the building that checks if you have the boulder badge. The other badges you definitely need though, because those are based on your actual Y coordinates or whatever.
You can, if you have walk through walls, you can just go through to the end of the Elite Four area, and just get to that room where it says, "Hey, you're the champion."
Well, here's...
Because you don't become the champion for being the Elite Four or for beating the champion. You become the champion for getting into that room.
Well, here's the thing. Maybe it works that way, but I am pretty sure that you... there are ways of, warping into that room. Walk through walls is not the way.
So remember seeing, the Gen 1 Red and Blue speedrun, so they just walk through walls and go right there.
Definitely not just walk through walls. I'm sure they're using multiple cheats. Not cheats, but multiple glitches, whatever. But,
the Pokemon Yellow version just wrong warps you right there.
Yeah. Wrong warp, that's what the thing is called. But, because walk through walls wouldn't let you get in there, in the traditional path. And the only way to get into that room, aside from a wrong warp, requires you to, be led out from the champion battle room.
I think I've seen people just walk to it. I don't know. I just remember watching the speedrun. It's just, we get Brock through walls, and now we're the champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brock through walls.
Oh, God. Now, here's an interesting idea for a Gen 1 challenge run. can you beat Pokemon Blue version without any glitches? Period.
I think I've seen someone trying to do that. Like, the problem is like, obviously, like, you can beat it without intentionally causing any glitches. But, like, there's some that are just completely without, like, beyond the player's control.
There's the 1 in 256 glitch. If any 100 accuracy move misses, then you know it's a glitch. However, from how the 1 in 256 glitch has been explained to me, any move that has a set percent chance of potentially missing could trigger the 1 in 256 glitch. It's just that for something like Tackle at 95% accuracy, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, and that's the problem. So you would have no way of... You'd have to have a thing set up to track the roll.
Yeah.
And just know that if you got, that number, then it's just like, oh, yeah, no. They triggered the glitch, so...
Yeah. Once you get the first badge, if anything ever changes your stats, I think you're safe if it changes specifically your attack stat before you get the third badge, right? Because the stat that gets changed won't be affected by badge boost glitch. That's what I thought.
No, I don't remember like what each badge is supposed to passively give, because I've never learned that. But I do know that it's literally anything that causes your stats to be recalculated.
Whenever one of your stats gets recalculated, it recalculates the badge boost glitch. I thought it was for all of your other stats.
For all stats.
Yeah, because that would be something to look into. So once you get the first badge, you can't get your stats changed at all.
Yep, so you can't use any moves that can change your stats.
But the opponent can't use any moves that change your stats. No growls or leers or sand attacks.
Oh, and you can't ever be in a fight where someone uses focus energy.
Yep.
Because that's also like supposed to be, that is effectively
that is a glitch.
Let's see here, what else?
Oh, red bar.
Red bar?
If your Pokemon is at low health, aka red bar, the game skips certain audios. It's a speedrunning glitch that people tend to use so that they don't get the jingle for leveling up and stuff.
Okay.
So you have to not be at low health when an audio cue would otherwise play.
Okay. Now, here's a question for you. The fact that the final battle, like in the champion fight, if you have animations turned off, it gets turned on again. Do you consider that a glitch, or do you think that's intentional?
That's probably intentional because they wanted to make the final fight very cinematic. I wouldn't think that that's a glitch. If somebody comes in and says, oh, it's a glitch because, Miyamoto or whoever said that it was a glitch, and yep, this is a message from the creator who said that wasn't intentional, then I'll take it. But unless someone has any sort of evidence to show that it's a glitch, I'm going to think it's intentional.
Okay. But basically, so long as there's, any sort of dispute on that, if there's ever any dispute on that, I have no idea if there is or not, that means you have to play the game with battle animations on, which just means that it takes longer.
Oh, isn't there an issue with some of the battle animations being a glitch as well?
Is there?
You should pull up a page of looking at Gen 1 glitches, because I'm remembering quite a few of them, but I'm sure that... Because I know that with battle animations off, there's two different sorts of animations/not animations that play with animations off. Based on if the move you're using does a secondary effect or not. There's a shorter one and a faster one. So I don't know if that's a glitch or intentional. but I think some of the animations might also be glitched. I think, was it like Sky Attack or Fly or something? Your character like doesn't disappear.
Oh, God, okay. I'm seeing here. Okay, first of all, Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow, all language. Like, I'm on the Bulbapedia page of list of glitches for Gen 1. There are 30, technically up to 32 ones that are in all versions. There's another 6 or 7 in Red, Green, and Blue, all languages, so just not Yellow. There's 2 that are only in English, Red, and Blue. 1 that is only in Japanese, Red, and Green.
Okay.
There's 6/8 in Red, Green, and Blue, only Japanese. 3 in Yellow, all languages. And then I'm seeing, what is it here? 2 time capsule glitches. 1 Poke Transporter Pokemon Bank glitch. So, let's take a look here.
That's right. In the original Japanese versions, if you somehow caught a second Pokemon before getting the Pokedex, or you just evolved your starter before getting the Pokedex, you can never get the Pokedex.
Let's see here. There's a 0 error glitch. It causes Route 6 to become glitched.
Yeah, let's look at the English ones. English glitches.
No, that's the thing. I'm starting with the all language ones.
Okay.
Which, yeah, the following glitches affect all Game Boy versions of Pokemon Red and Green and Pokemon Yellow, Japanese, blah, blah, blah. Unless otherwise noted. So yeah, it's...
So what is the... zero?
List of auto glitches and list of graphical quirks are on separate pages.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, list of battle glitches for Generation 1. Oh my god. Alright, let's take a look here. 0 damage glitch. If a damaging move's damage calculation yields 0, if it hits a Pokemon whose both types resist the move's type, the move will instead miss as if it were ineffective.
Oh, right, yeah. Moves can deal 0 damage in Gen 1, and then it'll just say, yeah, the move missed.
The 1 in 256 miss glitch? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. In Pokemon Stadium, the way they fixed it, rather than actually fixing, like, the less than, instead the number generated is between 0 and 254, which prevents moves 100% accuracy from missing, and also slightly increases the probability of lower accuracy moves.
You know, by 1 in 256.
Oh, and then they fixed it in Gold and Silver. If the move has 100% accuracy after applying accuracy and evasion modifiers and the Bright Powder modifier, the move skips the rest of the accuracy check and just hits.
Cool.
Battle draw theme oversight. The player ends the battle in a draw with self-destruct or explosion. The victory theme will play even though the player will black out. If the opposing Pokemon ends the battle in a draw using one of these moves, the victory theme will not play.
So don't use self-destruct or explosion with... I kind of want to do a run that says it's like, can you beat Pokemon Blue without glitches, but still winds up, quote-unquote, accidentally doing every single glitch.
Okay. The stored damage from Bide can hit, but not always, a Pokemon under the invulnerable stage of Fly or Dig. If Bide deals damage to a Pokemon under Fly or Dig, the game will reveal its sprite early. This also causes a small animation glitch with Dig, where it appears the enemy Pokemon rises from the ground off the top of the screen instead of the enemy rising up from underground. no animation glitch with fly because the game has no animation on the opponent's side of fly returning the top of the screen to the ground. The game only reveals the sprite. Catch rate RNG oversight. Due to a combination of the way the game's random number generator is implemented and the capture algorithm using rejection sampling generate random number, there's a from living range rate so far though. There's a significant bias in RNG outcomes for these balls. Ultra balls can, for instance, be less effective than Pokeballs against Pokemon with high catch rates at full health. Pokemon with lower catch rates are significantly harder to catch in Ultra or Safari Ball at full health than they should, while being easier to catch at low health. And that's why I remember seeing stuff about that. The long story short, throughout most of the game, the Great Ball is actually the best Pokeball.
I thought the Great Ball just was like the same as a Pokeball in Gen 1.
No, the Great Ball, part of the calculation was wrong with it. But long story short, Ultra Ball is worse than Great Ball, except when you're fighting high-level Pokemon, basically. Basically, never use Ultra Balls unless you're catching legendaries. Counter glitches. Counter may strike back damage from an attack that isn't normal or fighting type. For this to happen, the counter target must have not selected any move the turn counter was used. For example, must have moved first and used a normal or fighting type damage move previous turn. Counter may also strike back from one's own attack. This occurs if the counter target previously used a normal or fighting type damaging move before the counter user. Wow.
You can counter your own move.
May also trigger desynchronization issues. Wow. So basically, counter broken. Critical
the counter is broken.
Focus energy and dire hits are intended to quadruple the critical rate, due to which they will quarter the chance of scoring a critical hit.
Yep. Can't use focus energy or die hit.
Defrost move forcing. If a frozen Pokemon is defrosted before it would have moved that turn, it uses a move that turn, even though it couldn't select a move that turn due to being frozen. However, this move can differ between the games in a link battle, causing desynchronization. Additionally, this can also allow a Pokemon to use a move with no PP remaining, causing an underflow.
Oh yeah, you don't want to underflow your PP. That's what happened to me. This is the final boss of the game, and its attacks do literally 0 to me.
Speaking of 0, next is division by 0. During damage calculation, the game will eventually attempt to divide by 0 in the following 2 cases. In both cases, it does cause the game to freeze indefinitely, so the game crashes.
Hey.
The attacker's current attack or special stat is higher than 255, and the defender's current defense or special stat is lower than 4. Or, the defender's current defense or special stat is 512 or 513, and the defender has used Reflect or Light Screen. In addition, if its current defense / special stat is 514 or higher when Reflect Light Screen is up, it will be treated as if this was much lower due to a rollover glitch. Oh,
so yeah, if
the player has an EXP all in their bag and uses 2 or more Pokemon from their party in battle, then the total amount of experience gained overall will be decreased depending on the number of Pokemon used.
Yeah, your XP all gives you less experience overall.
And an experience underflow. In Generations 1 and 2, level 1 Pokemon using the medium slow growth algorithm will jump from level 1 to level 100 after gaining a low amount of experience points.
Oh, I don't know if it's a bug or intended, but you cannot withdraw level 1 Pokemon from the PC.
Interesting.
Because in Gen 1, you should not be able to get level 1 Pokemon.
Yeah. HP recovery move failure. If a Pokemon uses a recovery move and the difference between its current HP and maximum HP is 255 or 511, or any number that leaves a remainder of 255 when divided by 256, the move will fail the same way it would when the difference is 0.
I just really want to just try to do a single playthrough and try to do every single one of these things.
Hyper Beam and Freeze permanent helplessness. If a Pokemon uses Hyper Beam and then becomes frozen before it's set to recharge on its following turn, the Hyper Beam user will be stuck permanently in a state of waiting to recharge and cannot switch out or select any moves until it faints or thaws from a fire move. If a Pokemon thaws as a result of an opponent's haze instead of a fire move, the Pokemon will remain subject to the glitch. Subsequent use of a fire move will not have any effect on its status either. Yeah, and similarly, if a Pokemon has just used Hyper Beam and is yet to recharge, is targeted with a sleep-inducing move, any other status it might already have will be ignored, and sleep will be induced regardless.
I said go to bed!
In addition, the sleep-inducing move will never miss, as it will skip any accuracy checks in a similar way to Swift. Furthermore, if the Pokemon was badly poisoned by Toxic, the Toxic counter will not be reset. Which I would take to mean that if it gets re-poisoned, like re-toxicked, it will just continue from where it had been.
That sounds reasonable.
Index 000 post-capture. If the player manages to capture an M00 or 3 trainer Poké Dollars or an invisible wild Ditto will still be in battle with a player where M was before, battle will not end. This Ditto can then be caught.
Spring Buster Sword?
Invulnerability glitch. If a Pokemon is fully paralyzed or hurts itself in confusion while in the semi-invulnerable stage of Fly or Dig, all moves, with the exception of Swift, Transform, and possibly the Unleash damage from the opponent will miss or fail until the user switches Pokemon, finishes the battle, or successfully performs a charging move, specifically Fly, Dig, Razor Wind, Skull Bash, and Solar Beam. The user's Pokemon can attack normally during this glitch. Oh! That is interesting.
So, what?
Okay, if the first half of Dig, if you have done the first half of Dig or Fly, but then you're become either fully paralyzed or hurt yourself in confusion when you're supposed to do the damage.
Yeah. I've done that.
Moves other than ones like most moves from the opponent will permanently miss or fail until that Pokemon is never, in play, or you use any charging move like Fly or Dig, Solar Beam, things where it takes a turn and then attacks. Basically, that's what causes the glitch to stop. But basically, yeah, get fully paralyzed or hit yourself in confusion while halfway through Fly or Dig, congratulations. You're basically now immune to almost every attack.
Neat.
You can still be hit by Swift because it skips the, accuracy calculation. Yep. Transform will work. And apparently sometimes damage from Bide.
Sometimes.
Level up, learn, set, skipping. Pokemon cannot learn moves they should learn at a level if they earn enough experience at once to skip that level.
Oh, yep. That was an issue with the minimum Pokemon battles thing. If you try to use, I think it was Squirtle, it just won't learn Water Gun.
Mimic level up glitch. In this generation only, if a Pokemon that used Mimic levels up in battle and learns a new move, Mimic's effect is reverted. The move copied by Mimic is lost, and Mimic will be usable again.
Yeah, I guess that when it shows the menu of, hey, what move do you want to overwrite, Mimic can't be like, Thunder Beam. It has to be Mimic. So it will revert Mimic to being Mimic, and then it'll just forget to return Mimic into what it was supposed to be.
Oh shit, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, Cheap Tuesday, why?
Ellie's co-op stream. You up for some Borderlands?
No.
Okay.
Well, I think that's a fair length of episode of Rune Factory here today. Hope everyone enjoyed us talking about Pokemon. I don't think I'm actually going to do a Pokemon All Glitches playthrough, for the record. Don't get your hopes up. Sorry, but...
I'm only halfway through this page. Oh my god, and there's multiple sidewave glitches, of course.
Oh, yeah, no, obviously.
Oh my god, if a Pokemon uses sidewave in a Link battle, there's a small chance the games will generate a different number of pseudo-random numbers, causing desynchronization.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Wow.
I would love to see some sort of, high-intensity, challenge thing, on the level of No Game, No Life, where the two of them wind up doing, Pokemon battles, to determine who's the ultimate champion, and it comes down to the final moment, there's a desync, and they both win. Just as we are so evenly tied, we don't draw in our games, we both win. So will I just give you random flowers for giving her handmade gifts? If you get Emily flowers that way, that would be definitively worth it.
Oh my god.
Oh shoot! There's a post in the Oblivion whatever productions. The Your Quest 2 person. Okay. Oh, someone new joined the server. Woohoo!
Who joined the server?
I don't know. Some rando wound up joining. That's what the met.
Wait, what server?
The Oblivion Burn Productions, the Your Quest 2 person. Someone joined, they haven't said anything. The Oblivion Burn Productions server is the server name.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about someone joined this server.
No.
Okay.
You asked what server did they join, I said Oblivion Burn Productions, and you said what server did they join? I'm like, the one I just told you when you asked.
Sorry, I got confused.
Oh god. I wasn't actually around for the raid on this server. All I came back to seeing was it starting to be cleaned up afterwards. I really hope that Ellie finally took off the ability to add everyone on this server, because that's not a feature that should be enabled for everybody.